Hello everyone and welcome to the part 2 playthrough of the Noble Nemesis. Picking up from the part 1, we've gotten some momentum going. Hopefully we can maintain it going forward. And we've basically punched through some Naga blocker in the previous part. And the idea is to go north from here to this beautiful place with the Library of Enlightenment. And then there is another fortress town. When we go through it, this town is a little bit to the west. So I plan to take it. Yeah, that was glorious. I forgot to take nymphs in the previous part. Resource Hero is actually interesting, considering that resources are very, very scarce. Barely any mines. I'm not sure. Did I get even a single mine here? I think I didn't. So getting Andal is like 7 crystals, extra 7 crystals a week. It's not like very much, but it's still something. Very important to get ore every week, actually even as early as possible during a week, so that we could build something up. And there we go, we actually see a first mine, crystal mine. It's such a rare site that I actually even take a detour with my main hero, which is, I mean, it's a waste of time. But I mean, seeing a friggin' mine is actually so cool. Couldn't resist this urge. Now this is an interesting fight, and I will make use of the obstacles here. Now my hydra blocks a path very nicely, and the remaining hydras are out of the combat for a short time, so I have a little bit of time to deal with other hydras. Very nicely. Wyvern again blocks the down path, and I sacrificed one of the sorceresses right away to stall the 5 stack on top. Okay. Maybe I should have moved the one sorceress to block it again. Okay, hydra is almost done, but fortunately they actually attack a 1 and don't kill it. That's hilarious actually. But I still have to... So I will move hydras back and I will block the remaining hydras with the sorceress to save the hydras. Pretty cool fight, very minor losses, considering that it is a pretty strong neutral army. I would say a very good use of the obstacles there. And a good chest piece. Probably if I would rate chest pieces outside set items, I would say this is probably the best one. Obviously competes with Titan's Kiras. They both serve a little bit different purposes, so... But in general, if you do not desperately need the 10 spell power that Titan's Kiras gives, I think that Dragon Scale armor is actually much better. I got a very timely tactics in this fight, I think. It will be very helpful against Coatls here. Should be a relatively easy fight. Just want to make sure that I don't have anyone valuable exposed. And obviously I rely on Coatls not being able to kill a hydra there. They'll have 4 hits at least. That's kind of actually a lot. Fortunately, they didn't hit the same hydra previous turn. Maximum movement for Tazar. Hopefully he gets quite far with it. Now Adrian is probably, I'm not sure if I remember it correctly, but I think I want to send her back home where she will hand in the quest. Maybe not one actually quest, but like a few quests, probably. One of which is to have Adrian come and see that quests here. It's a tough choice already. I mean, always having very little ore to work with and basically so many buildings that require a bit of it, so it's kind of always a question if I build a citadel or if I build maybe a hydra pond, etc. So I miss I didn't really check the quests carefully, so as you can see, Draken has to do a lot of wasted legwork to catch up, and Adrian now also was blocked by a quest that asks for Draken to come, so a bit of a mess up. Okay, that's a magic well, very nice. Also a piece of ore. Hopefully it's not a 1. So I think I plan to build hydras. Maybe I should have built citadel. Maybe hoping to build castle as well, but that's 25 ore in total, so maybe it's way too much. Unless I find like a few big piles, I don't think I can do that. Probably should send Verdish back. She could start a new week. From well, what's this building called? The Derrick, but not the Derrick that we saw on screen there, but the one that is to the right side of the ore warehouse. So it's kind of day 6 already. And this golden bow is actually very nice. We'll have to take a castle, I mean not castle, a citadel. That is a built-up fortress town. And it has a solid garrison, so this golden bow is very, very handy. Should be blocking everything up with my hydras here. And with a shield we should be totally fine. Maybe I messed up here, no? Yeah, I did mess up. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So I made a mistake there. I misplaced my hydras a little bit. And I wouldn't be able to move 2 hydras forward first turn. And now I don't even have to probably, but I probably should. They don't reach, so 1 step forward is perfect. I tried to optimize my movement a little bit here, but I don't think I did it very well here because I still want to pick up the golden bow, and the idea at this point is that I will pick it up with a Stig, take the creature bank, and then still be able to reach Tazar, who's gonna go straight to the town on the left side. The problem is that Well, maybe if I didn't pick all these things, maybe if I just removed the guard, maybe I could be able to do that. But I don't think, at least at this point, stick should not be reaching everything. So basically, that's gonna another mess up on my part. Okay, a little bit of at least coordination there. Very much unlike previous a few turns here. So I guess hydras, maybe gorgons if I have ore next day. Okay, there's 5 Nixes. I already mentioned it's a bit weird to offer Nixes as a reward to Fortress. And also in these numbers, like Draken had 1 Nix. And Nix is a fine unit. So if I free the Draken a little bit earlier, I could actually probably use even this Nix. But I just don't think. I mean, he's guarded by a tier 4 army, so it was guarded by acids in my game. That's a pretty difficult guard, I think. Okay, I decided to split like this. That's basically to feed these ones of lizards to Citadel, and it didn't actually shoot at them. Wait, where did it shoot? It shot at my sea witches. Very annoyingly. Okay, so I want to kill both archers here, and that's why I hasted my lizards there. Worked out very nicely. Okay, now it shoots at the right target. So the dendroids are blocking the way, so if they hit hydras, okay, they will be killed now if they hit. But dwarves very nicely blocked everything for everyone else. Nice and easy. And acceptable losses. At least that town has a fort and citadel built up, so that's some ore I will save. Day 7, it's reasonable to actually build any creature. Wyverns, perfectly valid choice. Did I leave Nymphs in the town? That's kind of a bit weird. But I probably will move Tazar out of the garrison, so that's fine. Or, I will probably hire another hero actually here. I want to take the Wyvern's dwelling here. And then there is also a hydra dwelling to the north, and I want to take both this turn. So I will hire another hero here. I need to split army here. Braun will not be able to reach dwelling and back, so I need to leave him some army, like minimal army that he needs, and just this. All this meat and 3 wyverns should be more than enough. Much more than he actually needs. So there is an ore pile. So I probably will at least be able to build a citadel in my second town. Oh man, this morale. A bit of like a few pretty big mistakes there. But I mean, oh my goodness, the stone gaze. We almost lost the Wyvern there. But overall, the fight was very sloppy. Could have improved it like by a lot without much effort. And that's a pretty tough fight. Also, I didn't pass items. I should have passed items from Tazar. Another mistake. Well, lost quite a few dragonflies, unfortunately. That was a pretty big guard, and obviously I should have given items with Tazara. That would have made this fight much easier and much fewer losses as a result. But that's fine. Adrian will probably stay in a town to restore her mana. That's why she didn't happily run towards the quest Seer with a rogue. Need to capture the sulfur warehouse there. Losing a little bit of resources because I didn't take it. And another one. Have a pretty solid Gorgon count, as you can see. And that's 29 without hiring any from my main town, which probably has another 20 something. I think it had 21. previous week. So it should be like 28? Oh, 31 actually. Maybe I didn't see it correctly. I thought I had 21, but probably it was 24 then. Or maybe 23. I think I have two Gorgon Dwellings, right? That's a hard choice. I can't hire both Wyverns and Gorgons. But just for the sake of having a power stack, I take Gorgons. Because I just have a few more of them. So the quest chain that Adrian will now continue leads to a resurrection scroll, if I am not mistaken. I might be mistaken actually, I don't remember exactly. And another, the second seer, the quest chain, leads to a slow scroll and then to some creature rewards, like pretty big creature rewards. But they also require you to bring a certain number of creatures, so they are basically in a way time bound. But they don't ask for too much, so at least early ones. Later ones do ask for quite a bit and may require some waiting, unfortunately. So maybe at this point it's a good time to think about what we will do next. So Tazar is currently in the garrison of my third town, and these three fortress towns are the only fortress towns we'll have. I think there are no fortress towns on the map apart from this, but I don't know, maybe there are. But definitely no towns in the vicinity. And so basically the most reasonable direction for me right now is to expand towards one of my enemies. And there are basically, you could say, three enemies. Not far, relatively close. You could say one is a teal player, that is a cove, and I will need to sail towards it. Sail west. Like basically, that's the fact that I have to sail to him is kind of a big no-no for me. I have Adrian and Stig, who are navigation specialists, but I don't feel confident that they will be able to take on primary teal forces. So teal is not in the question, and two other players are, I may confuse colors, but I think that's orange and purple. Orange is Inferno, and I will need to go into the underground. to fight this player. And purple is further to the east. Basically, you could say it's southeast corner of the map, more or less. And so, basically, that's the choice for me. And I think since orange is in the underground, not far from here actually, I will go towards him. Enemies are boosted, so I don't expect easy time there. And also I don't want to wait for resurrection. Crawl, that's a bit too long a wait, in my opinion. And I don't want to be wasting time like this. So, and as I'm back to actually worth maybe mentioning the slow and resurrection scrolls I mentioned as quest rewards. So both of them require resources. I'm not sure if like all resources or maybe just luxury resources, but as you can see I don't have that many. Very limited in sulfur. And I think I already actually reached the quest for a slow scroll. I think it asks for 12 of every resource, maybe like without ore. That would be nice actually. If it didn't ask ore. But so still it asks for 12 sulfur. And having a slow is actually a very good thing. So I definitely want to have it. With a decent shooting army, as you can see, I have like over 200 lizards. It's not bad, and also 29 sea witches. I mean that's lizard men, even not lizard warriors. Not really a good unit, but still 200. And Resurrection also requires a bunch of resources. It has a few more quests before I can get to it, and in total I think it would require 60 of each resource. At least luxury resources. Don't remember, maybe some quests don't ask for wooden ore, so I hope they don't, because getting this much ore would be actually terrible. So this one, as you can see, doesn't even ask for sulfur, which is nice. This one, well, the second quest is for a slow scroll. This one is just money. And this one is probably for remove obstacle scroll. The remove obstacle scroll is kind of a universal key on this map. There are a bunch of quest guards that ask for it, and they give you some nice rewards. So, nice thing to have, for sure. It is a bit of an investment into the future, though. Basically, I picked Gorgons, not Wyverns. Back to the choice, right? I could have bought 16 Wyverns, I think, so I would have 25 Wyvern stack. Or I could have a 60 Gorgon stack, and because I will be fighting a player very shortly, I think it's very sensible to actually get a big stack. And Gorgons, even if unupgraded, in this number is actually a very, very formidable threat. Nice and easy fight. Now the next one, 50 or more of the Scorpicors. I will probably stash some units. Yeah, you stick to stash a few units and probably like split hydras to 3 stacks. Gorgons are nice to basically destroy any of the Scorpicors here. Pretty sure that AI won't even consider attacking Gorgons. The Paralize is kind of, well, in this case it's actually very nice, because this top hydra is actually very low right now. Open a little bit of space for dragonflies. Oh, well, this Paralyze is annoying. Probably should hit 24. Okay. Hit the smaller one. I thought that... okay, I actually... yeah, well, maybe makes sense. Wow, that's pretty big, okay? They hit 5 times and 4 of them procced the Paralyze. That's quite something. Quite something. Didn't even go. I mean, the Paralyze galore. Kind of funny fight there. The Paralyze and Blind, like similar procs actually, sometimes serve AI big misfavor. I don't know if that's the word, but you probably get the idea. So it kind of doesn't help. Like, for example, the top hydra stack that was paralyzed in the previous fight, and it was very low because it got hit by 24 Scorpicors. And if it wasn't paralyzed, they would actually consider hitting it and probably kill the hydra there. And since it was paralyzed, they did not even consider it, so that's kind of funny. How it sometimes helps you. Although, when they paralyzed Gorgons, it was annoying. not gonna lie. I have 3 taverns, so I actually can see everyone's stats, and they're not that actually scary. Tazar seems to be stronger than everyone except for the pink, obviously. And even pink actually doesn't seem that strong. He will grow in strength with time, though. Okay, so I guess the priority is to finish building up second town. That is, build Gorgons and castle there. set up a hydra to get hit, and this way enemies normally do engage more willingly, like the bottom unicorns were way more aggressive than they would otherwise be, and I was able to reach them with gorgons. So it's a third Inferno town. Orange didn't take it yet. Now I can use this new town with a tavern to bring my other heroes to it. And I could use it to bring a slow scroll, for example, as well, so that would be pretty big. So idea was to bring Adrian here and maybe she could reach another town, but unfortunately she doesn't. So I'll have to wait a little bit. Tig will also retreat there. Okay, basically asking them to hit hydras for a nice double attack. Double retaliation. So another infernal town is not far to the east from here. Tazar is ready once again to attack a neutral stack and retreat to be hired in another town. So basically I was hoping here that maybe not having army on Adrian will make Orange AI leave empty garrison, or like almost empty, but unfortunately it didn't work. So we'll have to fight actually. That's very disappointing. Not a very strong garrison though, as you can see. And also a secondary hero next to it. Not having my big army there with Adrian definitely helped me keep this hero nearby, otherwise he might actually have gone away. The priority is use range units to kill Ifrits always, to avoid fire shield. The gate is blocked, so I will unfortunately eat a bit more arrow fire. That's fine. Okay, lost quite a few actually units. Mainly to Ifrits and towers. So there is a main orange hero there. Quite far, unfortunately. I was hoping that maybe he'd be a bit closer. Okay, it's not a difficult fight, but it is a little bit tricky to win without letting her escape. So basically the idea is to lure these 3 units on the bottom a little bit forward and then cast haste on the hydras. And then she also has a big demon stack, which is a little bit of a problem. And a very good luck here, well timed. If only I did kill the doggy, but Violence probably should be reaching the beholders there, don't they? Probably don't. So I need to haste Gorgons but I have sea witches to kill these ones, so that's perfect, and we have a hideous mask. And also Orange will not rehire Marius, that's a nice thing. And I want to go back home with Tazar. I don't want to be advancing into the orange territory any further. I want the main hero to come towards me instead. And Tazar will go home, upgrade Gorgons, hopefully, get a slow scroll, whatever. So basically he has some time to not do much of anything. I want the main orange hero to attack into the town. That will give me a solid advantage. I didn't build Gorgons in the second town yet, that's unfortunate. But I should be able to do that. I think I have some chances at least. Upgraded Gorgons will be quite handy against Archdevils. Okay, I should have actually, maybe should have taken the scroll before and passed right away, but I still intend to pass this army to Tazar, so it doesn't change anything. Just need to remember to pass the scroll later. Okay, that's obviously stupid. Visiting this what is this? Graveyard? Well, it's not graveyard, but don't remember how this object is called. So I need castle, I need hydra pond here. Hydra pond is almost unreachable. I mean, 10 sulfur, probably quite unlikely to happen. Also, I want to build Gorgons, I feel like, in the second town. Maybe a bit more than Hydras, but we'll see. We'll see how much resources I get by the end of this day. That's 5 ore, that's very nice. Windmills are kind of very important here as an ore source. That's 5 sulfur as well. Huge. For a wagon as well. Wagon is kind of normally empty or has like maybe a couple pieces. Giving 5 and sulfur of all things is kind of actually crazy. Okay, and also a slow scroll. Pretty good. Tazar is gonna have a decent time against Rashka with his army. Rashka, though, unfortunately is an Ifrit specialist, so his Ifrits are gonna be annoying me a lot. And I would prefer them not to be that annoying. Okay, X-Men assembled. Should be fairly soon here. Built a Gorgon lair, that's nice. Okay, so I have all 3 Gorgon layers. Basically, only third town is left to be built up a little bit. A 100 nymphs, I might actually be able to collect them. There is a third dwelling to the east, I'm probably searching for it right now. There we go. Yeah, I have enough. Reward is although a little bit lackluster. I think it gives 10 sea serpents. Again, a cove unit. It's not bad. 10 sea serpents is a solid stack, but my Tazari's army is actually, I mean, like, has way better stacks already, so it's at best supplemental. At worst, it's not very useful. Okay, there we go. Probably a main hero there now. And got 10 more ore. Well, I should be able to build hydras this week in the third town. I need 10 sulfur, but I have like at least one warehouse that I already have access to, and then there are a couple which I could take with a bit of an army. Also, I need a castle in the third town, so it's 30 ore at least, so I'm on a way to get enough. That's also pretty nice. Just 6 ore shy, and I have 3 resource silos, so basically I'll have enough by day 3. That's good. Just never have enough money to hire the serpent flies and whatever. Basically, time and time again, do not hire everything in my main town, or not even just main town, so... Rashka has a solid army. So ideally I want to end the turn with just one. But I want to have 7 stacks. So if I end the turn even this way, with Wyverns split, they will be joined. That's kind of a thing about castle defense or town defense. So I actually need to hire a unit in Inferno to make sure that I have 7 stacks. Verdish with a null for speed, that's hilarious. Her speed is gonna be so low. Once again, as you remember, I already mentioned it in the previous part, I think, that when you take an unbuilt town, consider leaving like a couple of fast creatures there, just for the situation like this, when you hire a hero from Tavern there and you need to give a fast creature to that hero. Okay, I still need to hire an Ifrit. Ifrit would be the best unit. I mean, if he had Archdevils built, that would be better. But Ifrit is like second best. Unfortunately, the fight is against Rashka, so he's gonna have turn order priority. I mean, he's gonna have higher speed. And I mean, like, he's gonna have higher speed. Anyway, he has Archdevils. The point is that if it wasn't Rashka, I would at least be able to take the turn before his Ifrits. So nice and nicely tucked up there. Ifrit was helpful, as you can see. It spared my Hydras or Gorgons from being hit by Ifrits, and very nicely dealt with Archdevils. Now I shot at Magops. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe I should be focused on dealing with Ifrits. Rashka doesn't have a golden ball, for example, and as you can see, Ifrits just took away 2 Hydras. I'm not sure I actually should even be hitting them. Might just kill another Hydra. Yeah, I mean, I lost 3 Gorgons to just a fire shield. But now that I dealt with the flyers, it's actually not difficult now. He cast basic curse. That's kind of funny. Shield won't help, I'm afraid. Pair to wounded. Maybe cure. Cure would make sense as a follow-up at least. Hydras would get some survivability. And also removes curse, which is a nice bonus. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure if they actually still survive. It didn't kill, but it's very, very close. Did they? Okay, they didn't hit. Because of the retaliation, I guess. AI is a little bit funky when it comes to the siege battles. And Hydras in general. I mean, demons probably didn't hit because of the Cerberus being also a subject to a retaliation. Because of them, so... Pretty nice. Maybe I still can get my Hydras survive. Okay, yeah, actually should be. Still have the 58 pit lords to deal with. Kind of pretty scary army, but Rashka doesn't have magic money anymore, so... And I also don't want him to flee, so I probably should just charge. Lost another Gorgon, but I mean... That's fine. That's totally fine. I mean, the biggest loss is probably 3 Hydras. And 6 Gorgons are a bit also kind of a loss, but that's fine. That's still a very good result. And that was a main orange hero, so now we need to take care of the remaining orange town. So I want to send Adrian to take it. And I want to send Tazar towards another enemy. It's gonna be a purple, which is a necromancer. Fighting necromancers is always a bit annoying. So they have leeches, they have dread knights. Those are very strong. Okay, just trying to calculate quick where Dracon will reach next turn so that I could put Wistan to chain Nims for a quest at home. day 2, so I probably should have enough resources to actually even build City Hall first. I mean, resources and time. So I already spent some ore to build a resource silo there and also to build a magic guild. So that's a quest to exchange money for knowledge. That will be very useful later. Specifically to fight the final, the big baddie of this map. Okay, very nicely lined up here. I actually did not think I would be able to calculate it so quickly and so accurately, but I mean, I didn't calculate, just kind of eyeballed the distance and hit it very nicely there. Okay, Adrian is very close to the remaining town. So I want to send Tazar where to the east, right? To go fight Purple. But I also don't want him to go way too far, right? He doesn't have an army to fight, so ideally I want to have a few heroes behind him to chain the army. So that's why he takes a little bit of a slower path. Takes a couple of extra fights on the way. Nice, 40 more Gorgons. Pretty good. Now, it sounds like it's kind of basically, and I mean it's actually to a degree is true, that these boar quests are like bonkers overpowered, but I think they're equivalent more or less to what, like, I think there are 8 boar glands, so it's 64 boars a week, and that's roughly, like, you could say maybe it's 18 gorgons, roughly, maybe 19. That's a solid growth for sure, but maybe it's not like super duper huge, right? But still it helps get a solid gorgon stack going. Not sure why am I so confused. Okay, so I guess I want to unblock my shooters. So I consider maybe using Ice Bolt or Gorgons to hit the Archdevil. But I'm not sure what's the problem there. I can use shooters to kill Gogs and Ifrits. That's fine. Yeah, I don't kill in one turn, unfortunately. Maybe I was calculating if I can do that. I'm not sure. It would be nice. I could have saved like 12 lizards or so. Maybe a little less. Maybe around 10. Okay, so Orange did hire a hero. But that's a weak hero, so that's nice. I probably can just ignore it to a degree. Okay, so chain a little bit of an Oasis in here. I'm not sure actually I can take Zealots here. They're pretty strong. So Andal will be building a chain towards Tazar, at least one of the heroes. And I want to take most of Adrian's army and bring it to Tazar, obviously, to chain it. I still want to leave her a little bit, so that, I mean, I don't think that, I think that the Sarfax, this new hero, is probably doesn't have a big army. But he probably does have maybe like a weak growth or so. Maybe a bit less than that. So I would expect that it could be a bit of a problem if I don't leave anything here. Still, Adrian has a solid magic, so I think she should be capable of dealing with almost anything he would have. If anything, I could just basically stall the time with dragonflies and use magic to kill whatever he has. Okay, I will use Wisdom there to chain as well. And Alagar is gonna town portal to the second town, so that's the plan here. So Wisdom needs to reach Andal, and Andal will reach Tazar next day. And Tazar will push towards purple player. a bit awkwardly placed objects here. You actually cannot pass this road unless you visit the Redwood Observatory. Purple didn't take one of his talents yet. The serpent flies again. But this time I actually hire them. Okay. I guess I have some money to spare at this point. Orange hero is over to the east, over this fire lake. That's basically a body of water. So he's not very close. I guess I tried to reach him here, but he's very far. Also, I checked the quest there. Interesting enough, AI for some reason doesn't hand in even like basic quest for asking for level 1. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it offers no reward, I think. So it doesn't feel compelled to do that. Maybe. It is a bit weird. And because of that, it doesn't end up progressing the quest chain. Although, to be fair, it's unlikely it progresses very far. The fact that it doesn't take the quest or even like progress the chain has one implication that for the most part it ends up blocking the progress for you, because most quest chains have some sort of at least one, maybe several quests to defeat a monster, and AI ends up defeating the monster, and basically you end up being unable to fulfill the requirement later when you take AI out. This oasis is kind of tricky. It tricked me. I actually thought that I will be able to visit it to gain a little bit movement here, but it's put there for water. Maybe it was intended actually to be like one tile on the ground and one tile on the water, so that it could be visited from both sides. That would be pretty cool, but unfortunately it did not. Did not end up being this way. Okay, there are a few quests like this, like small chains, basically asking you to kill one of the pink heroes that live in some caves around this map. Those are pretty difficult to defeat early on, like maybe, I mean, it's probably already kind of doable at the stage where I am at. But later on they become extremely easy. So purple, okay. I may have misunderstood the map before. Okay, orange went south. So Adrian actually chased a ghost there. And with purple, I think he actually took a third town. And I wonder if I misunderstood the map previously. Okay, I'm short one ore to build the final hydra pond. That's fine, I have a full day. I'll have everything I need. pretty nice. Sulfur is very important. I did not yet upgrade hydras. And when I do upgrade, I will actually need sulfur to upgrade my existing ones. And the longer I wait, the more sulfur I need. So better stockpile some. Okay, so I don't want to be spending ore at this point. And I'm not sure if I will start building up infernos probably in next week, if I have to guess. So ideally I would want to have devils built in all three, just in case. Basically building it just because archdevils are very useful, but also I will actually end up needing them, so definitely it doesn't hurt to have them built as early as possible. And even I actually would benefit quite a lot from taking archdevil dwellings on the map. Okay, so this fella, I don't reach him. That's unfortunate. And I end up blocking him, his path down, so that he didn't escape, basically. If he goes to the left side, he goes basically closer to the town where I will need to go, either way. And Adrian should be able to deal with him if he attacks. Okay, some reinforcements and 50 more Gorgons. I will chain to Bron next day. Hopefully he can get to a town gate in a couple of days. And I would be able to pass army to these two fellas here, to Tazar and Adrian. Okay, he didn't move. By the way, about pink heroes. So the way I understand the map now is that there are many pink heroes in the underground, like maybe 6 or 7, like starting up like with some decent-ish army, like maybe quite a challenge to take out month 1, but it's also pretty difficult to reach them this early. and then they gradually become very easy to take out. And basically, every time you take them out, pink player has a bunch of hero camps at home, and he ends up releasing one more hero that ends up being free on the map. So you actually, I would say, after having played a little bit further, obviously I didn't realize that when I did play it at first, but you really don't want to be killing many of those heroes in the undergrounds, and you don't really need to do that. But that said, they have related quest chains, asking first to kill them, giving some money, and eventually if you bring one of the special heroes, that is Dracon, the sorcerer specialist, or Gallo, you would get a scroll of obstacle removal. I don't remember. Remove obstacle, whatever. The scroll I mentioned that is used as a universal key on the map. So it's time to bring some reinforcements. Hopefully he can. Okay, he can reach town gate next day, at least. So I will be able to chain the army. Okay, more resource silos or more wooden ore. So I'm a bit concerned about pink heroes, or I mean purple heroes. As I said, Necropolis tends to be pretty tough. Especially if you don't have like much in terms of spells. Basically I only have like slow, don't have resurrection, not to mention any control spells with an orb of vulnerability. That would be obviously way late into the game if I had those. So kind of trying to gauge and just thinking where okay, so I want to bring Tazar to town gate, hoping that Adrian will be able to get another town. That's optimistic. Also, I made a mistake there. I actually Purple actually had two towns, so he didn't take a different town on the surface. He has only his starting town in the underground at this point. Okay, now that's painful. I'm definitely not feeling that Adrian can beat this fella. without reinforcements. So pretty tough situation. And she also spent lots of movement to get closer to him, so that's doubly bad. I will end up going left side, hoping that maybe he doesn't have pathfinding and didn't visit the hut there, so maybe have to lose a little bit time, but that's nearly impossible that it helps, if I'm being honest. She just had too little movement at this point. Fortunately, Tazar reaches her, so at least I can give her, not even her, okay, I set up this way, I think it's correct actually way to do that, so I give her a couple of units. Maybe I should give her a little more than like just once, to be safe against something like Death Recall. So I would check a tavern right now, although my both heroes actually have no movement, so I wouldn't be able to trade. I think I already just realized here that I messed up. So he has Death Ripple, he can attack and kill Adrian. I would be able to rehire her using a hero invite. That would be in the worst case. If he does, at least Tazar is in range to hit him back. That's something positive. So I guess I want to bring Vistan to purple lands as well. Probably using some town gate. This one, for example. I could also retreat as well, that's actually even a better solution. Although I did not expect to hire him here, actually. Interesting. Maybe I want to... Okay, so yeah, so resource objects here still did not visit. I mean, it's day 2 of the week. So I want him here then. Okay, orange came out of the darkness. And I don't have army there, so he's a bit of a nuisance. And purple retreated actually. Did not expect that, but it's a bit probably fortunate. I am not sure Adrian would survive. So I checked the stats, he has 8 spell power. So I think it would be probably safe to have like 5 dragonflies in each stack. I'm not sure exactly how it scales. So I think it adds 5 damage per spell power, but also I'm not sure how Expert Earth affects, and its base damage also. Don't remember. So maybe 5. 5 should be enough, I feel like. So I want to find him. And I still don't reach. That's... And this tavern actually... Can you imagine if I, for example, was able to dismiss Tazar somewhere quickly and then bring Adrian here and rehire Tazar here? That would be pretty sick. So if I didn't mess up with Adrian there before that, I might have been able to do something like that. That's of course only if the Necromancer would behave similarly if Adrian had an entire army. That's not guaranteed. Okay, starting to pile up a little bit of resources. And my goal here is basically to get Resurrection at this point. Now, fortunately, I was able to block the Necromancer with Tazar. That was nice. Keeps Adrian safe. Orange is gone. That's very fortunate. I didn't have to go back, so that's one of the pink heroes. It's alright. Already quite likely doable. And probably not particularly difficult to do with little losses, even without Resurrection. Okay, so this fell 50 to 99 horses. Okay, 50 at least, it's not 80. That's something. "92 leeches. They're gonna hurt. I guess they killed, what, like 10 sea witches? That's painful. And just looking at the stats difference, like, look how weak he is actually. And I still have trouble dealing with this. Like, Dread Knights barely get any damage actually. I was hoping for haste there. Or prayer. Prayer would be nice as well. Maybe I should focus the Dread Knights, or I don't know. Like every stack is in his army is actually pretty intimidating. Like vampires also kind of with that's a decent number. And as it goes with vampires, you either kill them really fast or you don't kill them at all because they just raise back all up. Yeah, that's actually very nice. I dispelled the shield. Now, the fact that he doesn't have shield and stone skin makes them way easier to deal with. Oh my, okay, that's gonna be painful. I'm losing the sea witches there. And also this wraith will attack one of my units. Maybe shield? I should have cast shield some point. I think maybe even earlier than that. They will attack the lizards. So ideally I would have hydras a little bit up, or a little bit forward previous turn, and I could move lizards up a tile if I waited with them, so they would be this way I would be able to block Dread Knights for a turn from participating. But okay, I have to. So I decide to give them Wyverns. And of course it's a double attack. Okay, 9 Wyverns gone. Well. Now another challenge is he still is quite likely to retreat. And I'm not sure I can actually prevent that even without bleeding too much. Okay, maybe I can. Okay, some magic. Okay, maybe I should use something. Okay, I bank on them killing remaining 7 in melee. Could use like a magic arrow. So magic arrow didn't kill him. Maybe an ice bolt as well. Okay. It was a bit painful. Lost quite a few wyverns, every sea witch. That's unfortunate. Dragonflies and wyverns are not crazy, like very highly important. Losing lizards is a bit more annoying though. They're my only shooter. Also losing sea witches is a bit sad because of their debuffs. I actually would be happy to have those. But most importantly, I did not lose hydras and lost very few gorgons. So that's basically very clear that my primary units are gonna be hydras and gorgons. at this point, so I mostly am concerned about keeping them. Cursor bugged out. Occasionally happens for some reason. I don't know. Dragon is nice. It's a unit with highest speed in my army at this point, so I could use it occasionally, for the speed at least. Probably nothing else, really. Okay, a couple more purple heroes left. Should not be a problem. We already dealt with the main hero. Force field. Interesting. A spell that is very easy to abuse. I am a little bit surprised that it's not blocked. So this is a little bit awkward because this town, I did not connect it to the left side. There is a champion stack, a pretty big stack, and obviously Draken is a very bad option to kill it with these reinforcements. And basically, if I want to connect this army with the rest, I will have to bring it all the way around the right side. That's a very long way. Unless, of course, I go through the champions. Going through them is way better. So I'm not thrilled, let's say, about my situation there. Maybe I should have brought Tazar to that town and left Adrian to deal with this couple of purple heroes. I'm not sure. Maybe it would be better, actually. I think I can combine a wizard as well already. Okay, Adrian doesn't have an army. I want to draw your attention to that fact. So I wonder if I'm just gonna leave her this way. I think that would be a very dumb idea. And if the remaining purple hero doesn't attack in this case, that would be extremely surprising. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh well, I don't know what to say. I think what I should have done there is should have put her into a garrison and then hired a hero to grab army from Tazar, but I don't think I actually would be able to do that because to carry the army all the way to Adrian, I would need to have two heroes. So I would have to dismiss maybe one of my other heroes. Maybe I had some candidate for that. But here, I mean, it's weird. What happened there? Okay, I guess leaving an armor card for dragons to hit is sensible. Oh, okay, interesting. Even haste on the dragons. Oh man. Those leeches finished the armor card. That's really upsetting. Okay, lost another 10 dragonflies. Zombie count is actually pretty large, and she still can haste them. So I need to pull everyone further back to actually avoid getting hit. And I'm not sure I actually can avoid it now. Okay, she probably wasn't thrilled about an opportunity to hit either hydras or gorgons. Perhaps that's why she cast an ice bolt. But she could kill maybe like a gorgon, maybe two even. Okay, dealt with another player. And I'm already at the position where I can get a resurrection scroll, almost. And I want to deal with one of the pink heroes. So there is a green Keymaster tent, like a few tents around the map. And I think they're all, I'm not sure all, but at least some of them are guarded by those pink heroes. Okay, so those leeches. That's what I was talking about when I talked about AI having a quest chain blocked for you. So this AI killed those power leeches, but because it didn't hand in the level 1 quest, it also didn't hand in the quest for the leeches, and it means that this quest chain is now stuck. So at this point, what I can do is basically to go for one of those not purple, pink heroes. Ideally, one guarding green tent, and another option is going for another player, probably teal. But ideally I would want to have a resurrection before I do any of those. Resurrection is very close at this point. And also I bled a few units there already, so... Could just move in with hydras actually. Don't know why I'm actually hesitant. I could move them just outside of the reach of the satyrs below, but they could definitely take a hit from the 11. And even like a second hit would probably not make any difference to them. Okay, so I decided to connect reinforcements a little bit differently. Through a town gate that is not far from a third necropolis. But that's also a very long way forward. Okay, some teal player. Interesting. Okay, just a scout. So going for a teal is kind of a problem. I mentioned already that it's not very compelling. Primarily because I have like a couple of navigation heroes. Yeah, that's gonna be way too difficult for Draken. He has to have to wait there, unfortunately, for someone else to kill those guys. He actually doesn't have gloves equipped at this point. That's a mistake, obviously. Okay. Actually made a mistake. I could have cast haste on Gorgons. And I actually don't believe I really thought that Lizard Warriors would be able to kill all 12 cavalry units. That's kind of insane. Still not enough sulfur to get resurrection. Gathering resources is actually very useful here, even if you think you don't need them. Later on you will be able to trade them for skills, for stats, for attack and defense more specifically. So kind of getting a few more of them is pretty nice. Even if you, like, in my case, for example, I have a bunch of crystals, and you may think, probably reasonably, that you don't have really collect more of them, especially, like, let's say, also consider that I will need to spend sulfur to hire hydras, upgraded hydras later on. So naturally my sulfur count will be my bottleneck, but there are some warlock laboratories on the map as well, so you could actually use crystals later to buy more sulfur, and basically you could distribute your luxury resources whichever way you want. Oh my goodness, she barely doesn't reach. So I will have to use Tazar, I guess. Okay, I will. I mean, I probably didn't have any choice. Otherwise, he would have to wait either way. They actually could take Hydras from Draken. A little bit of a mistake there. Hydras, huh? Why did I breed Hydras? Well, that's weird. That is as if Hydras were reaching Cyclops. That's okay. That's all about this ring. Basically another sulfur mine, actually. And then there is a game pond not far, also quite nice. There are actually a couple more mines in this area as well, so it could be a decent idea to take them. So I should be building up devils. I even didn't build up city halls in Necropolis. Okay, that's a mistake. Okay, I actually noticed that I didn't have gloves equipped, that's nice. Probably didn't take more than like a few turns, hopefully, at least. Okay, time to get 10 sea serpents, I guess. I don't need the serpents, but it will advance me to the next quest. And further rewards are actually quite useful. There is a, for example, 50 hydra reward. What else? Actually don't remember. One of the last rewards is 300 wyverns, but that's it asks for some, I think, for leprechauns and like for a large number, and it takes a very long time to get that number. So maybe there is another quest for some, like for giving wyverns, maybe like a small number, around 50. I'm not sure. Okay, another mine. So I'm going for the nice +2 shoulder piece there. Plus 1000 experience. Nice. Adrian is one step closer to what, level 20? Or something. Just like 25 steps more. And she's there. Okay, so that's one of those blocker quests. Basically 80 satyrs. It's gonna take a while to collect. There is another satyr dwelling on a different continent. But that will take some time to get there. I guess I could go there instead of teal player. Maybe it makes sense. That other island, continent has 3 other players to deal with, so it's also not gonna be a very welcoming place. So basically I want to bring him to pink player back to the cave to the northwest from his location. To this quick cave. Now, and also I want to pass resurrection to him in the process. And this cave is quite useful because there is a blind scroll. I think even maybe actually 2 scrolls. And then there is also a green keymaster tent. And also maybe some other niceties, but not sure. These are big ones. And green keymaster actually unlocks a few nice locations for you. Like most importantly, you can get a town portal spell with it later on. And you don't really need that much of an army actually to do that. Like any decent hero with like even my current army, like if we combine reinforcements with my primary army, I think that should be doable pretty comfortably by a hero like Tazar or even maybe Adrian. Obviously they would need resurrection and slow and maybe blind. Well, not obviously. Having them will make it fairly comfortable, I would say. It's not necessarily that you have to have them to do that. Okay, so I wanna go into this cave. Maybe it has some nice perks, and I still have some time to until Adrian can catch up with Tazar, so you can do some fighting here. I think there is another remove obstacle scroll in this cave. And the quests here I passed by is basically gold income, sort of. Like, how to explain it? So there is a quest to kill Nixes in this cave. There is like 100 something Nixes. They guard, I think, this scroll of remove obstacle, and they are also a target of this quest. And when you kill them, you get some money, and then there are a bunch of quests to wait for another month, like for month 2, for month 3, for month 4, and etc. etc. That all give you like maybe around 10,000 gold each. So if you have a hero to spare, you could send them there later on to collect some quests. Some money. But it's nothing too crazy, really. It's just, I think it's 10,000 gold a month. So it's my... curious what my gold income at this point is, but it should be over 20,000 a day. It's pretty funny that Tazar actually has better attack and defense than a pink hero here. Just barely surviving. Actually, I didn't expect them to deal this much damage. Although it's not much, right? Angel's damage is 50. And if the 11 of them did not kill a hydra, it means that they dealt at most like 15 each. No, that's not a lot, right? Okay, a little bit of a misplaced units, I guess. Maybe should have pulled. Oh my goodness. Maybe should have pulled my fires a little bit back along the top, so that bottom Nexus would actually go towards hydras. Also an opportunity to double my mana here. Quite welcome. Okay, it's finally time to deal with these champions. I'm not sure if diplomacy is useful on this map, but she obviously needs to find earth magic still. It doesn't have it. That's kind of dangerously close to becoming nearly useless. A pretty solid army. Very low numbers of lizards and dragonflies, though. Definitely lost a lot of both. But Gorgon and Hydra count is actually very healthy. With Resurrection, though, I should stop bleeding them, so that should be pretty nice. And I still don't build up Inferno. Actually, should have. Well, I didn't know. I would need Archdevil, so I think I at some point just figured that I have resources to spare and thought about good ways to do that, and figured that maybe building devils would make sense because they're all around a fairly nice unit. Anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what you think. Share your feedback in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.